Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, and in this video I'm going to offer my long-range review and opinion of the Schuberth C3 modular helmet. Now, it's definitely the most sophisticated and technical helmet we have at RevZilla, and it's something that's generated a lot of buzz within the riding community, especially since 2006. It hadn't been around. It's just coming back now, late 2011 or late 2010, or early 2011. This is actually my C3 you have in front of me, and I've been riding in it since late fall 2010. You know, you buy a Schuberth C3 because it's going to be really quiet. It's based on the shape of it, it's based on the neck roll, it's based on the seal it creates. It does a phenomenal job. It really does live up to it. I've been very impressed and our riders and our customer base here at RevZilla that have invested in the $700 helmet, they really understand what they're investing in ahead of time, but it has lived up to the hype. I'll tell you, my favorite standouts on this guy, the thing that's my favorite overall is the aerodynamics of it. The quiet's really nice, the fit's really nice, but my favorite thing is I've ridden it on my Ducati, I've ridden it a ton on our 12GS, I've ridden it at highway speed, I've ridden it in triple digits to really test it out. My favorite thing about this helmet is that aside from being quiet, you get a very well-designed aerodynamic helmet. Very low amount of buffeting. Depending on the position you're in, I haven't experienced any differences. It vents really well, and my favorite thing is whether I was head checking or just riding along, depending on where I was sitting on the bike, you don't get that. You know, at the higher speeds, you don't get that sensation of really pushing a lot of air. It really feels like it deftly pushes through the air, cuts a channel, and it's extremely aerodynamic. It's the profile of this helmet as well as the balance of it were the standout things to me. Now, I ride in 10 to 20 different helmets over the course of the year, every new model that comes out. So compared to the everyday rider, I probably see a lot more things and I probably pick up on some of the nuances. So I mean, if you're the average guy, you're gonna try this helmet on, you're gonna notice the fit's more snug, it's more ergonomic, you're also gonna notice it's very quiet, it encapsulates you. But if you're a guy who's been riding a very long time, who's riding most of their life, who rides a lot of different helmets for different applications, I really do think that the aerodynamics of this helmet are one of the things that's going to stand out to you. The face shield's great, the pin lock system's great. I really think that from a modular standpoint, again, I'll reiterate it, it does live up to the hype. We haven't had anybody that's been disappointed with them, and then especially with the Hi-Viz option showing up, a lot of people have been really excited about it. I will say on the fit, for me, I'm an intermediate to long oval. I'm not quite the Arrive profile head shape. I'm really right in the sweet spot of that intermediate to long oval showy shape. So for me, I'll tell you, clearance front to back, it was a little bit more snug around the chin bar than I'm used to, but once it broke in, which was, you know, after a 2 or 3 hour ride, the first time I was riding it, I didn't notice it anymore. And the fit went from being very tight to feeling very true to my head. So it's, you know, we always say to people when they're watching any of our reviews, or we even did a specific Schuberth C3 review for this guy on how to fit it, you want to measure your head at the widest point and buy your size. I do think this helmet plays better to folks that have a more neutral to oval head shape, and if you're a long pronounced oval, again, like me, you get, you know, it's a smaller clearance than you're used to in the front and the back. I have also used it with my SRC system a good amount. I typically ride the SRC when I'm riding with any of my friends that have a cardo unit, which we'll pair with, but for everyday riding, I typically leave it out. I'm one of those guys that enjoys motorcycling, you know, for some of the solace and solitude that it provides, you know, when you're not listening to the radio and you're not talking to anybody. I actually kind of enjoy that. So I hope that helps in your buying process, your decision-making process for the Schuberth C3. I've been really impressed with it. I'm impressed with what they continue to do. Now with the new functionality that's going to pair to the BMW that's coming out this year, they're continuing to push the envelope. If you want, you can always find our Part 1 and Part 2 Schuberth C3 full review, about 20 minutes walking through the whole thing. We also have a fitment video available at RevZilla.com/Schuberth-helmets. I hope this helps as some of the nuances as I give you that longer range review of what I've thought from my own personal experience with the Schuberth C3 here at RevZilla.com. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.